These conclusions are broadly in line with the cross-Whitehall analysis published earlier this year by the House of Commons Brexit Committee, on which I've served for the last couple of years. And the reasons that the report concludes that there will be these losses in GDP are primarily about the trade barriers that we're putting in place between us and the EU and the resulting impact on foreign direct investment in the UK. And these barriers aren't an allegation of the report. They are freely acknowledged by the government in the Chequers White Paper, which says repeatedly, and I quote, "There will be more barriers to the UK's access to the EU market than is the case today." And what today's report does is crystallises what those barriers will mean for the economy and for individuals. Now, I just want to end by saying I've been in the 2 prime ministerial statements on these papers over the last 2 weeks. And I think it's notable that in a combined total of around 5 hours of questioning from MPs, not once has the Prime Minister claimed that her arrangements will leave the country better off economically. Instead, the strategy has been to drive through the deal on the basis that people are bored of Brexit and fed up hearing it. That may well be the case, but this is far too serious a decision for the country to be taken on the basis of boredom or a desire to stop the conversation. We have to compare what is proposed to what we have already. And frankly, it's an illusion to pretend that if we just vote this through, somehow we can stop discussing these issues at the end of March. The most fundamental issues on our future are yet to be decided, and the 26-page paper published last week communicates only that in area after area, we'll actually have less of a say over the rules governing our economy than we do at present. And that is the very opposite of what Brexit was supposed to deliver. So even if we vote this through, the conversation doesn't stop and the most fundamental issues are yet to be decided. So the issue for Parliament is whether it accepts a choice between what is a bad deal for Britain with a loss of GDP or an even worse deal with a no-deal scenario, and whether it accepts that or votes it down and opens up other options, such as the people's vote. Thank you.
There's a big choice now coming up. Now we know what Brexit is. That choice is, do we want this Brexit? Or is this a matter, which I think obviously it should be, that goes back to the British people? So now that they know what Brexit looks like, they will have the informed consent that needs now to be given or otherwise to Brexit. So it needs to go back to the British people with all the information available to them, and that they have that final say, which I think increasingly they are demanding. Enough from me.